Welcome everyone to our Student Parent Orientation and Community Forum. My name is Jose Marquez and I'm the principal from Mountain View High School. Our instructional day during the fall semester will be divided into 2 terms. Students will take 3 classes each term. The first term will be from August 18th through October 9th, through October 16th, which is 9 weeks, and that will cover periods 1, 2, and 3. And term 2 will be from October 19th through December 17th. That will be 8 weeks, and will cover periods 4, 5, and 6. Next slide, please. So your school day will be divided into 3 periods, with a 10-minute break between periods 1 and 2, and a 40-minute lunch break between period 2 and 3. As you know, if you take a look at that schedule there, it really is your class is actually a little less minutes during class than you would for a normal school day, but you know, the way the instruction will depend on your teacher, and they're working hard right now, going through some training to make their instruction as effective as possible. Okay, next slide, please. So grades will be a little different than what we've been doing since March. You know, since we broke off last spring and through the summer, we gave students the option of having a credit, no credit. Beginning this school year, that will not be an option. So credit, no credit will not be an option for grading. Students, we're going to return back to our traditional grades. So that means you're going to have to take part in your classes, make sure that you do your work, and that you arrive on time, and just do what you need to do. But your traditional marks will be A, B, C, D, F, and or a no mark. A no mark is a grade that is given to students that have not had a significant amount of time in class. Each course will be worth 5 credits with each passing grade. So for example, if you take 3 classes during the first term and you pass them all, you'll earn 15 credits. So that's how that will work. So by the end of this first semester, which is 2 terms, you should have 30 credits earned. Okay.
All right, so I'll be going over our district's expectations for students' behavior. We apologize for the voice technical difficulties a little earlier. We are going to work on putting up this presentation on our website as well, so that in case you weren't able to understand all the previous information, all the information will be listed on the slides. And as Mr. Gomez said, much of the information that we discussed regarding orientation will be getting emailed to you shortly and will be on our school website. So stay tuned for that. Please keep checking your emails regularly so that you can stay up to date with that. So students, an important thing to remember is that even though this is going to be a year unlike all others in distance learning, our expectations for student behavior remain the same. So whether we are, you know, on a Zoom meeting, in a Google Classroom, or in other platforms that our teachers use, we expect all students to model the appropriate positive behavior and create a safe, responsible, and respectful atmosphere for all involved. So I'm going to be going over some of the particulars when it comes to our district expectations for student behavior. But just know that, you know, as it says there, our learning environment is still a classroom. And so our school behavior norms and our rules are to be followed just as they would be expected in the regular educational setting or classroom. Next slide. Our expectations basically come down to 3 big areas, and they're all pretty common sense and things we would expect of all students at all grade levels. The first is to be respectful. We want you to work as best you can to identify a distraction-free workspace and to just be mindful of the distractions that are going to be around you. We know that folks are dealing with a lot of different circumstances, and this can be a difficulty. You can always reach out to us as well to see what we can do to support you. But as best you can, we ask you to think about creating a space where you're going to be able to do work. You'll be able to tune in for each of these periods so that you can get the most out of your instructional day. We want you to constantly think before you post. it's important that you remember that the words you say, both verbally and in writing, are public, will be visible, and must be appropriate. We want you to make sure that you're always showing respectful comments and showing proper respect for all cultures, opinions, and viewpoints. We want you to be very mindful of the things that you record, the things that you share, the things that you post, that you email, because ultimately each of us is responsible for the words we put out there. And if we are doing something that is inappropriate, we will be subject to the same kind of student progressive discipline that we would have if we were in class here on campus. Make sure to listen to the directions that your teachers say as far as how they want you to participate, whether that means muting yourself in Google Meets or in different platforms. It's important that the information you display is responsible and appropriate, that we are not promoting anything that would be offensive, that would be considered hate speech, sexually explicit, or violent. It will not be tolerated. Bullying in any form, including cyberbullying, will not be tolerated. Sending discriminatory or harassing digital communications will not be tolerated. So, guys, we know you guys know how to behave in a classroom. Please carry those same traditions on into the virtual classroom. Next. Our next one deals with being responsible. It's going to be very important that you take care of the materials that you've been provided. Each of us now has a Chromebook, and you're going to depend on that device for the next 4 years, some of you maybe in just your last year. It's very important that you look after this, that you take care of it, that you also take care of your information. You need to be present on time each day. For each of your classes, you're going to have, as Mr. Marquez showed you, a standard schedule. So you want to make sure that you are following the directions of your teachers so that you are present and that you are getting marked correctly for attendance. You want to make sure you have your materials ready for class, which will include the textbooks that we will be checking out this week. You want to make sure that when you are present in classrooms, that you are showing that you are attentive, that you are sitting up, that you are leaning in, asking questions, nodding, answering questions as far as a thumbs up or a pulls up or whatever they're advising you to do to show that you are following along. Also, lastly, it's important that you recognize that you're going to be visible to others. You want to make sure that, again, you are thinking before you log on, that you are dressed appropriately, following the same dress code you'd be following if you were at school. So please pretend you are coming to school every single day and approach it with that same awesome mentality online if you were here in person. Next. Finally, our last big expectation is that you be safe. We want everyone to be as safe as possible, and that includes also in the cyber world. It's very important that you are very protective of your personal information. You do not want to be posting things publicly, such as your passwords, your logins. You don't want to be speaking with strangers nor sharing your camera or personal information with people you do not trust. You don't want to be opening emails from people that you do not know. If something seems fishy or suspicious, or if someone is possibly sending you a virus, you want to make sure that you communicate with administration, with your counselors, with your teacher to verify what's going on before you do something that could put you in harm's way. Remember that, like I said, whatever you put out there is public, and record of a chat can be saved. So whether it's a verbal communication, a written communication, it needs to follow all district technology use guidelines. Audio and video recording, this is a very important one. So whether you're using your cell phone cameras, recorders, or computer features, it is prohibited for you to record others unless you have the approval of everyone involved. So that includes filming or recording your teacher or their sessions without their approval. So again, make sure that you are following the normal rules you would in any class and that you are doing things the appropriate way. EMUHSD is committed to the maintenance of a safe and orderly learning environment. We recognize that this is going to be a challenging thing to get used to, but we hope that you will come with your best foot forward and that you'll show that same awesome model behavior, that's outstanding Viking attitude that we've seen here each day. and that you can now carry on into the virtual world. As we mentioned before, bullying, any kind of suspendable offenses are going to be treated in the same manner. So any student violating district or school-wide behavior expectations shall be subject to the appropriate disciplinary actions. So we know you guys are better than that. We know we're not going to have to deal with those kinds of issues. We want you guys to just come hungry, ready to learn, putting your best foot forward. And we look forward to a great year. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be unlike anything we've done before. But I think as long as we all try hard and give it our best attitude, we all will inspire greatness like we always do. Next slide. So again, in talking to getting to know how to navigate this virtual world, we've come up with some resources and tech support for you. And this is going to come to you on behalf of our, one second, let's hold off on the video real quick. This is going to come to you on behalf with our ASB. So our ASB took some time to actually craft some of the most basic functions, things that you're going to be using daily to help you out. So whether you're a freshman or a senior, some of these things, you know, it's going to take a lot of practice to get used to them. And we wanted to just provide you with some support. So whether it's learning how to log into your student portal and find your classes, how to log into a Google Classroom, how to turn in assignments, how to check your grades on School Loop, how to email your teachers, or how to log into a Google Meet. We've come up with a couple of videos, nice short videos from your ASBers that will walk you through this process. So I'm going to show you just one, but just know we will also be sharing these on our website, on our social media, so that you can use these as a nice guide if you ever get stuck with some of the most routine devices you're going to have to use almost all the time, almost on a daily basis.
Hey guys, my name is Lucas and I'm your sophomore class president. Today I'm going to show you how to access your student portal. So once you're logged in, you're going to immediately be taken to here and you're going to click your account.
Can you hear it?
Once you get onto the Clever website, you are going to scroll down until you find MVHS student portal and you're going to click on it. You're going to click the blue one, which is sign up with my Google account. And you're going to click your account again. So once you logged into the portal, you're going to be taken here, but you're going to click on the top where it says class schedule. And you'll have the link to your virtual Google Classroom. If you have any more questions, be sure to follow our Instagram at ASB and MVHS. Thank you for watching. Bye.
So I'd like to thank Anissa Robles, our sophomore class president, for that video. And again, you have other videos from different ASB members here to help you along the way. Here to just provide a helping hand from the student perspective. And like she said, you can always ask if you feel more comfortable asking some of your student leadership. You can follow them on Instagram and ask them questions on their account, or we can always reach out to us here at Mountain View. So just a couple tools for you guys, and we'll keep adding to this reserve so that things that come up all the time that you need help with, we're going to try to help that be as easy as possible for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.